Hi everybody, welcome to KastorCorner.com. I am your host Khalil here for another toy of the day here on our YouTube channel. You can go to KastorCorner.com for a full gallery of these figures. You can also follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner on all social media. And you can go to the Cornercast podcast on Apple Podcasts and listen to our podcast, which goes up every Monday night. So tomorrow night, new podcast. With Jesse and DJ, which I have to get on editing. And so we've been working through the Ursa Major wave and went back and forth last night on whether or not I should post last night's video. I mean, my comments, I think it's the idea of like, here's the status quo of Marvel Legends, right? Here's where we are as far as what is left to talk about or what are left to get. And we're either going to get very modern looks, we're going to get alternate looks. There is still room for A-listers, like this guy right here. And new characters are being created all the time, and they deserve a figure as well. I think a lot of times when we look at the Marvel Legends line and, you know, the I don't know, the nerd, geek, privilege of commenting that, you know, classic, you know, if it's lines called classic or Marvel Legends, you know, should a modern character or a Z-list character get a figure? Yes, they should. Stop it. We're not like that special. Like, I hate to say it like that, but we're not. Like, we buy the product, we're happy with it, we enjoy it. But at the end of the day, you don't have to buy it. Right? Like you can pick and choose what you want to get. I choose to go all in on the Legends line because you never know when you're going to need a figure, and Red Guardian from last night is a perfect example. Don't have him, now missing, and now his team doesn't have a leader. So we've got 3 figures left in the Marvel Legends line, the Ursa Major Wave. And so we're doing 2 more tonight, and tomorrow will be the unveiling of my favorite figure in the wave. Although these came a close second. So tonight we're going to take a look at Ultron, and we're going to take a look at the Vault Guard. Now, this guy's an army builder, and I don't think he's going to get the Hasbro Pulse treatment where he gets that. So I will be buying a couple of these when they hit retail. I wasn't going to pay shipping and extra fees or whatever for it. So he's a pretty simple figure. Like, honestly, like this is probably as bare bones as you can get if it's not a Spider-Man figure, because Spider-Man figures a lot of times just a different costume, right? The only thing really original on him, and I don't even know if the face is original, the helmet is. I'm just looking at it. They could have borrowed the face, honestly, from somebody else. But it's a Vault Guardsman, so it is the jail that I was introduced to him while I was reading Venom back in the 90s. He comes with open hands, closed hands, and a pistol or a blaster or whatever you want to call it. It's a really cool figure. The green's really cool. It definitely belongs in the Iron Man wave. I believe he came out in the Iron Man 1 lineup wave, and I bought like 5 of them when they were in 3 3/4 back in the day. So first appearance in the Legends line, happy to have them. Probably need about 3 of these, maybe 5. 5 might be my limit. But could you imagine Venom taking down 5 of these guys? I think it'd be really cool looking. Metallic paint, really shiny. Not like not vac metal, but you know, shiny paint. He definitely has a shine to him. Subtle color variations in his arms. You can see like the band here, and then it kind of runs down to the gloves. But I mean, this is like 100% bare bones figure. All the details in the paint. So, now this is definitely it was in contender for number 1, but there's a reason why he's not number 1. Reason number 1, Hasbro has sold me so many versions of these that nobody wanted, that it took almost 20 years or so to get this figure. We were very, very disappointed in the rabbit ears of the Toy Biz days. They came close in the Iron Man 3 Ironmonger wave, Build-A-Figure wave. That's another one I don't have. but we finally, and they teased the head when they did Vision for the retro carded Marvel Superheroes Wave 2. So yeah, like he is classic. He comes with grippy hands. He comes with sort of fists. I guess they are fists. They're just a little clawed. They kind of like, instead of like a bunched up fist, it's kind of like this fist, which is fine. And then he comes with like the I'm gonna take over the world hand. That's the I want to take over the world kind of hand, which is really cool. And he comes with the crackle that looks kind of cool coming out of his mouth. It definitely matches up with like the comic book idea of him having like just energy pulsing through him. It looks better on camera than it does in real life, at least to me. But it's cool. And I mean, it's Ultron, right? Like he's had a movie named after him. He has been part of the MCU in a lot of different ways, called back here and there. So he helped create Vision and Wanda. So, I mean, this is it's really well done. It's very classic, right down to the sculpting in the boots. So I think it was in a contender. It was going to be number one. And then our number one, which will be tomorrow night, I got the figure in person and realized like how good of a figure it was. Even with a hiccup, and we'll talk about the hiccup tomorrow night. But so there you go. Ultron, Vault Guardsman, both great additions to the Marvel Legends Iron Man wave. We all thought he was going to be in the bad guys wave, but he turned out to be leading off the Iron Man wave. And I mean, he looks great. Modular armor Iron Man with this classic looking Ultron. So yeah, I mean, so there is still room for the A-list characters. There is still room for the A-list villains somewhere in the line. They're just not going to be like, well, see, that's the hard part, right? Because like the villains wave was like all like the heavy hitters. Even the AIM scientist was with MODOK coming out and then having to build the AIM soldiers on Pulse. I mean, there were opportunities for that. So even that was a necessity, I think. So the Legends line is kind of one of those things where I don't know what I'd do with myself if I didn't collect it anymore. And so, double knees, pinless on knees and elbows. They did a great job with that. I just realized that. He is 100% pinless. Seamless figure, no stuck joints, no nothing, no problem. So he looks really good kind of jumping out at you. You can even rotate the head up like that so he can look like he's flying out at you. Like it's one of the good things. But the feet pegs, I will say this, these are kind of a lot bigger because he's a shiny figure, he kind of just absorbs all that light and shines it back at you. They don't fit the repulsor blast. It's too big of a peg hole to fit those. So maybe there's a repulsor blast coming that will that'll fit those. So there you go. Another toy of the day. You can go to castorscorner.com for a full gallery of these guys. Probably more of him than the Guardsman. The Guardsman is pretty simple. Might try to do some posing with him. Follow us. We are at Kastor's Corner on all social media. You can head to Apple Podcasts to check out the Cornercast podcast. Every Monday night before midnight is the goal. This week coming up with Jesse and DJ. Sunny's coming on. We got a few more guests that we're trying to book ahead of. So as soon as we get those locked down, we'll let you know who they are. And yeah, that's about it. So hit the subscribe button down below. We really appreciate all your support. The more of you that subscribe, the more cool things we get to do, and then we get to share them with you. And that's really a lot of fun part of this journey. And we got some surprises coming up, things that you won't see coming, which we're excited to talk about. So yeah, so thank you guys for joining us for another Toy of the Day here on castorscorner.com. Have a good night, everybody.